Hello, I'm reviewing now this movie called. Oh, Dad, I'm recording, by the way, okay? I just want to know that, okay? I'm reviewing Batman Forever. I give Batman Forever a solid 10 out of 10. What I liked about this Batman Forever movie that even though Val Kilmer plays the same Batman as uh Michael Keaton, he still does a good. His performance, I think how he delivers. I don't know. It's like I still like his performance, different than Michael's. I just like how he kind of makes Batman his own thing. I do like his version of Batman a lot. I think it's interesting how this Batman is not as much as doesn't kill as much as Michael's known for, brutally killing people. I mean, he killed one person at least in this movie. That's Two-Face, and that was on by a purpose, clearly. At the end, and it was kind of out of nowhere, I thought, which is strange because usually this Batman in this story is not really a killer. We see him actually save a villain falling from his doom to his death from the elevator. Something that the other Batman in the past, played by Keaton, wouldn't have saved that villain. He would just let that villain clumsily die to his doom. And I'm just saying, this. I mean, this Batman, even though now this is canon, and this thing takes place in the same canon as Michael Keaton's. Um, so this Batman's like a little different until at the last minute. So he's so maybe this Batman's in a different mindset. Uh, it's kind of hinted at this Batman's in a different mindset. Sees himself as much of a villain as the villains he fights, and doesn't see him as necessarily a good person anymore because he might have taken so many life. So I guess he. So why is it that he out of nowhere kills Two-Face? So Robin Canton gives lectures to Robin about not killing Two-Face, and out of nowhere kills Two-Face for no reason. Out of nowhere for out of inconvenience of the plot. Other than it says so. Was written. And so this movie does have a problem, but I think this is still a pretty fun movie to watch. I liked how Batman and Robin came together, and I liked the reimagining of Robin's costume, his comic book accurate costume, and how Schumacher brought made it look more like armor. Despite it might have nipples on the armor, which is weird. But then again, I thought it was pretty weird putting abs on armor. But then again, Michael Keaton's guilty for doing that. So I don't know which is more silly, putting abs on armor or nipples on armor. You decide. Tell me. Am I crazy, Dad?
No.
Okay. What do you think's more weird? Nipples on armor, on armor,
Both.
or abs on armor.
And they both look a little weird to me.
You've seen Batman with balls, remember?
Yeah.
But you can't decide either, right?
No.
Okay, that's cool. I can't decide either. That was my dad. Um, I just want I want his opinion on that. So I can't decide. I doubt anyone on the internet in time is ever going to decide now that I pointed this out now that I pointed this out, and whoever sees this, if there's any YouTubers that see this video and make YouTube content, and I don't know if anyone else noticed this on the internet. I can't remember. Actually, I think no. Wait, I take that back. There was this one YouTube I remember noticed this about that thinks is also weird that is weird that Batman is guilty of having bat nipples on armor and abs on armor. On is made into the armor design. I can't remember what this YouTuber was called right now. I don't remember the name of this YouTuber. I only saw this a few videos of his. I can't remember his name right now. At the moment. Yeah. So. So. That's why I give Batman Forever a 10 out of 10. Even though the costume designs have their problems, and they do. I still like the costume designs, and I do, honestly. And I like the performances from Alfred Pennyworth. The guy who plays Alfred reprising his role. And I like the guy that reprised Alfred, played Alfred in the first two Batman movies. And reprised the role. The same guy reprised the role as Commissioner Gordon. Although I think that I love how the direction took this Commissioner Gordon. This movie finally realized how much of a joke Tim Burton's Commissioner Gordon was, and how this writes Commissioner Gordon as this gayest worse for Batman, and pretty much a lost bimbo without Batman, and is incapable of doing anything without Batman, right? And this is basically this fat doofus called Commissioner Gordon is written as in Batman Forever, and I love how he is written like that in Batman Forever, and he's written like that in the first two Burton movies. Like, kind of useless, but I love how but also kind of useless to the plot and irrelevant. And I love how Batman Forever kind of turns that concept into the best punchline ever for Commissioner Gordon, being that character. I love how Commissioner Gordon goes a step further and Batman and Robin. He was the highlight for me as a character in Batman and Robin movie. Next to Poison Ivy. And Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. And Alfred Pennyworth. As Alfred Pennyworth played by the same guy in Batman and Robin. But this time, with Batman and Robin, I realize I'm talking about another movie now, okay? Before I finish talking about Batman and Robin, I'm going to have to finish talking about Batman Forever. And so, Batman Forever knows how much of a useless bonehead screw up. Why is he in charge of anything Commissioner Gordon? The joke he should be written as. Then that's why I think Batman Forever is my favorite out of the Keaton franchise. If I had to be honest with you, part of me wants to say that because this one completely owns and I understands Commissioner Gordon's character that Michael Keaton's Batman created for Commissioner Gordon. That Commissioner Gordon is a complete wuss and he should be treated as a butt of a joke. If you're going to use this Commissioner Gordon. Instead of the Commissioner Gordon from the comics, that's more of a goody two-shoes who usually is by the book Commissioner Gordon, but just cares, but and starts to trust Batman. And eventually does trust Batman. But deputizes Batman in the comics. And yeah, that Commissioner Gordon we haven't seen yet from Keenan's or from Val or even from George Clooney or yeah. So I'm just saying that because that all those Commissioner Gordons that we see in these movies are the same Commissioner Gordon. The idea version of the Commissioner Gordon from the 1960s Batman, but just the diabetic version. That's eating too many donuts and too many pies and forgotten to burn off the calories. It looks like he's never exercised a day in his life. Type proud fella. Is what this Commissioner Gordon looks like. Truly, we can trust this guy that will take care of us, the people. Truly, I can see the people got some trust in this Commissioner Gordon, and trust in their hands. The people got some trust in wanting this Commissioner Gordon to be Commissioner Gordon. I can clearly see the people got some trust in and looking at the sight of this fella, saying, "Wow, that guy I can trust, and looks like he takes great care of himself." Well, really, that's not what this Commissioner Gordon looks like. That's what this Commissioner Gordon is, a diabetic. Nobody's going to be afraid of a diabetic police officer, I'm sorry. It's like being afraid of a diabetic superhero, or a crippled in a wheelchair superhero, or a crippled wheelchair cop taking it seriously. And in fact, when you think about it, Family Guy is more clever writing than Michael Keaton's Batman, because it has a smart to write something like that for police officers as a joke instead of putting it as a legit good thing to take seriously, and I mean, you get a diabetic cop, there's nobody's going to take that seriously as the man in charge. It's like, doesn't make sense. Why would you put that man in charge who can barely take care of himself? I mean, it's impressive that this guy is still not what I thought the most impressive that this commissioner did was just walk into a room. Not because there was anything interesting he was doing his performance or anything, but because I'm just as surprised of those legs are holding that Commissioner Gordon up. And he's able to walk. Because that's how fat he looks to me. Of a fella. It looks like those legs should not support that body. Type, almost. The diabetes Commissioner Gordon knows it has to be treated as a joke. So that's why I think Batman Forever understands this Commissioner Gordon so well. And so does Batman and Robin. But let me get to that in this video later. Okay? And that's why I give Batman Forever a solid 10 out of 10. And I like Crystal O'Donnell's portrayal of Robin and Batman Forever. Even though he got kind of annoying but still likable in Batman and Robin, for some reason his costumes in Batman and Robin is different. And speaking of Batman, I'm not reviewing Batman and Robin. I give that a solid 10 out of 10, I think. Let me explain why, okay? It's not because George Clooney does a good Batman. It's because of the opposite. He does the most worst portrayal of Batman I've ever seen. And that's unbelievable bad. And emotionally bad. and is as charismatic and unforgettable and forgettable as possible you can do as for Batman. See the low energy and self-esteem he brings to the character persona as Batman and as Bruce Wayne, as he plays the role similarly as identical as he plays the Bruce Wayne persona as well as the Batman persona. As in, he doesn't play the Batman persona any different than the Bruce Wayne persona. And that's something that the great Adam West from 1966 Batman show got right. He would add different energies to the role of two different personas. Like, ever noticed that Adam West, his Batman was more talkative and charming and a bit of a flirt when he was Bruce Wayne? But when he was Batman, he always took it. He was never a flirt, really. He always took, because he was always on the. He had a mission to do because he always wanted to catch the bad guy, and he always like owned his detective skills, and he had Robin as this great sidekick, played by Burt Ward, and as Robin. And I noticed when he actually played the role as Batman, he kind of toned down his comedic, like he toned it down with the comedic energy that they would bring to the role as Bruce Wayne. Like he played more comedic over top Bruce Wayne and more subtle as Batman when he was in the Batman persona. In the show and also in the show of the Batman that of Batman from 1966 live action Batman with Adam West. If you go back to watch the first two seasons, that's something that, and also the first Batman movie with Adam West from 1966 called Batman the Movie. You notice that Batman and West's Batman always, even he could get that. Whom for a while thought that was the only Batman, the first Batman, until later people on YouTube start talking about the Batman, and then later you start seeing the 40s Batman DVDs on the shelves selling on Toys R Us. I did. That's how I ran into it. And my dad got it for me. And then I find out that I'm not the only one that knows about the 40s Batman. Because there's also YouTubers that know about the 40s Batman. I wonder if anyone else knows about 40s Batman and the zoo. So, and that was before Adam West played Batman in 1966, 40s Batman in live action. And even the 40s, both 40s run on Batman. There's two different Batmans from the 40s, and both run on Batman from the 40s could bring different roles to the Bruce Wayne personas and Batman personas, different energies. They play the role differently. Like, they'll play the Batman personas more straight, and they will make the Bruce Wayne persona more of their own thing, and give the Bruce Wayne persona a little, sometimes, have Bruce Wayne crack a joke or something, or, just be more of expressive than he would be Alice in his true form as Batman. Which many people have agreed that that's Batman's real persona. And I have to agree with that, okay? I'm one of those people that think that too. That Bruce Wayne's persona is he has more, the Batman persona is more of his real persona than Bruce Wayne, when you think about it. And I agree with that. And the reason why I bring this up, because what I find fascinating about George Clooney is he doesn't give a fuck and doesn't even get it. And clearly probably has never seen a single Batman adaptation ever in his life. Not even the 60s Batman, probably. Because his acting is this on autopilot in this movie. And forgettable. And yeah, he's definitely the Batman that's as bad as people say, but a little more than that. I think so, because I think that's kind of why I like this movie, because it is kind of fucking ridiculously hilarious how bad he is at Batman. Because it is funny just seeing this complete moron make a fool of himself as Batman and as Bruce Wayne by phoning it in and thinking nobody will give a fuck. Because people did give a fuck once they saw him as Batman, and they were pissed. And that's why this is funny, and why I give this a 10 out of 10, because it is funny to me seeing this masterpiece of madness of this moron mocking the Batman legacy and spitting right in the face of it by giving the most cheapest performance of his career. And probably the worst, most phoniest performance of his career life that he's ever going to do. Thank God he has never done a bad performance again as bad as this, even though he's probably in plenty of bad movies since. I'm guessing. I can't remember all the movies he's been in right now, okay? And if I remember correctly, that's why most people hate, the people who do hate this movie, Batman Rom, that's pretty much why they hate this movie. Like, why the movie got hated like it did. It's because how bad George Clooney was as Batman. Which fair enough, but the movie has some good performance from everyone else outside of Clooney. Like Alfred Pennyworth as the guy like Commissioner Gordon, and also Mr. Freeze, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze, played by Schwarzenegger, was pretty entertaining. They were all pretty entertaining, and that over the top comedic fashion. And Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, and was kind of fun. Could be. I thought was a fun character to develop in the course of the movie, and but I can't say anything good about George Clooney's performance. But I do like the costumes in the movie, and yes, the bat nipples are back, but this time there's little nipples on top of the bat nipples for some reason. Designs. Like, there's nipples on top of the nipples of the bat nipples in Batman and Robin. And the only one that doesn't have bat nipples for some reason is Batgirl, which is a little strange. Because she's part of the Bat family. So why doesn't she also have bat nipples? It's like, and why is it you brought the nipples back for Batman and Robin, but you didn't brought them back for Batgirl? It's confusing of the design. But when you brought them back, you not only brought them back, but you brought them back with bat nipples on top of bat nipples. Has anybody noticed that there's bat nipples on top of the bat nipples? That's a strange design. Now that's getting strange. And not only that, there's also abs on the bat suit too. Still. Now with George Clooney's Batman, he has Batman abs and nipples on top of nipples on the bat suit. Design. But still, I enjoy this campy rom-com of Batman and Robin that mocks the franchise and mocks Batman and is mostly the reason why I like this because it's absolutely fascinating of a movie. Okay, to me, on a visual and writing level, of an interesting spectacle of a movie. To me personally, is why I give Batman and Robin from 1997, starring George Clooney as Batman, a solid 10 out of 10. I like this movie enough to give it a 10 out of 10. And the franchise was over the top and silly enough as it got. The thing is about the franchise, Batman franchise, was Michael Keaton started. As it went on, it was like the downfall of the Lethal Weapon franchise storytelling. As the movies focus more on comedy instead of telling a good story. And being loud and dumb. It got more concerned with those things than telling a good story, I felt like. Sort of like the Lethal is what I felt like is similar to the Batman franchise. My first similar was that. It's similar to the Batman franchise. Identical is what I'm trying to say with both franchise. Is what I'm trying to say is why it's always kind of like is why I kind of like don't really hate this movie Batman and Robin, but like this movie because it's a good send off for Batman and Robin for this era of Batman. But would have been a better send-off if he ended it with Batman Forever? Probably. But we have never gone in this movie if the ended with Batman Forever. That changed cinema for better force forever.